Hello there, dear viewers, and welcome welcome all, welcome Christmas, something Christmas. 2 days till Christmas. Get that Christmassy feeling in you. Something festive joy. All that good stuff. Yeah. Wow. That was a great start to this stream, wasn't it? That was knocks that one out of the park. Anyway, it's the Milkies. You know the Milkies. If you've been watching this channel for the past 7 years that we've been doing it, the Milkies are an annual tradition named after dear old Tim Farron, former leader of the Liberal Democrats, who once upon a time was photographed holding many jugs of milk. You can go Google that if you've not seen it before. Now, you guys know the Milkies, but I suppose if there's any viewers that have joined us within the last 12 months, I should explain. It's our annual awards show. You, the viewers, you nominate. We have numerous categories, variegated categories of all sorts. You guys put your nominations in of who you think is deserving of being in contention for winning said category. I collate it all together, and then we put together our finalists for each category, and then I throw it back out to you lot again to vote amongst the finalists for the winners. Now, year on year, the formula always changes a little bit. Sometimes I tweak how you go about nominating. Often I'll tweak what the actual categories are. All of that sort of stuff. But we've got a decent enough formula this year. One person, one vote per category. Quite simple. You get to nominate one person per award. And how many awards have we got? Christ. I think we've got, I want to say like 18 awards. This could be the most awards we've ever had. It's definitely up there. There's definitely a few that I forgot last year, which we've added in this year. So I'll run you down with them. But I'm sorry, I nearly forgot. I've not opened my advent calendar today. What have we got in here? Ooh, a by-election courtesy of Peter Bone. Oh, well, that'll be a nice little treat for us next year, won't it? Little things along the way to the general election just to keep us busy. Peter Bone by-election. Frank is in the chat and says, woohoo, Frank. John Cooper says, hey, Swiss, what happened to your old videos? Oh, goodness me. I had a botched revamp of the channel. I was going to do this whole new sort of day zero version of Captain Swiss with all kinds of new different sort of content. And then what with stuff going on with family being unwell, it kind of delayed all that and didn't quite pan out the way it would. But the videos haven't been deleted; they're just like unlisted or private. So I now refer to it as the Captain Swiss Vault. I've got a big Captain Swiss vault I'm sitting on top of about 6-7 years worth of content, and I can eke it out to you in little morsels. Decide what I want to allow you to see again. Put together little compilations and whatnot. But nothing's been wiped. It's all still there on the YouTube servers. John Cooper says, in terms of nominations, are you not allowed to vote for yourself for side chatters? You want to vote for yourself, you can vote for yourself. I'm not going to tell you one way or another who you ought to or ought not to be nominating. Charlie Simmons says, excited for this is an understatement. Wow, wonderful. Thank you, Charlie. And Cameron says, milk us, Swiss. Well, I suppose without further ado, we should run down the categories here just to give you guys an idea of what there is. So there is a link in the description of this video. You can click on it now if you like, as you're watching or afterwards, but we'll just jump over on the old screen share here and have a look at the list. So here we are. These are the Milky Awards 2023 nominations. These years just keep going quicker, don't they? Welcome to the 2023 Milky Awards, our annual celebration of a year in politics where the Captain Swiss audience decides on the deserving winners and losers. As ever, the formula for how we do the Milkies, which awards are up for grabs, is in a state of flux. This year, we're going with a simple one nomination per category per person, with the finalists announced and to be voted on in round 2 after Christmas. So I ask you for either your username on Twitter or YouTube. This is just to avoid, people voting 5 times or something like that. That way I can match one lot of nominations to one individual person. It's all optional, by the way, so you don't necessarily have to nominate for every award, but ideally it's good if you do. But it's just for my own interest to see where the Captain Swiss audience is at. I always like sort of taking the political temperature of the people watching this channel. One question we have here is, when the next general election is held, which party do you think you will vote for? So if you care to answer that one, you're more than welcome to. All right, then. So we have quite a few appearances of some categories from previous years gone by, and a few new ones sprinkled in there as well. So we have political happening of the year. These are political happenings. Do I need to say more? Things that have dominated news cycles, things that have caused a bit of controversy, things that are noteworthy and events-worthy, things that have taken place, stuff that you've gone, that's interesting. Political happening of the year. Non-political happening of the year. Just the same, but just not political, I suppose. I think in previous years we had stuff like, the World Cup, the Queen dying, stuff like that in contention. Comeback of the year. I'm not going to bias this by saying which events in particular has encouraged me to create comeback of the year this year. There's 2 potential worthy contenders I can think of. One from the world of politics and one from the world of television. But again, I'll let you decide what you want to do with that one. Party leader of the year, self-explanatory. That's an old favourite. That's been there probably since the beginning, I think. Scandal of the year. Now, there'll be a little bit of overlap here, okay? When we've got things like scandal of the year and political happening of the year, and the next one down, political blunder of the year, you may well end up thinking to yourself, maybe some of these deserve to win multiple awards. That's fair enough. It's your choice how you want to go about nominating this stuff. But we have scandal of the year. We also have political blunder of the year. So if you think of a scandal perhaps being something involving some high-profile figure where they've got in trouble for something that they've done that they didn't want the public to know about. Political blunder of the year, that's probably more of someone saying the wrong thing or announcing the wrong policy or doing a U-turn on a certain policy, kind of more of a political themed misstep. We've got a couple of new ones here, some quite soft, fun ones. We have person you'd most like to have a drink with and person you'd least like to be stuck in a lift with. So there we are, both ends of the spectrum there. Who would you like to spend some time with? Who would you hate to be stuck in the vicinity of there as well? We have best politician for US and international, so anywhere outside of the UK. Worst politician for US and international, again, anywhere outside of the UK. I think a few years back we did split this into separate awards for US and international, but I wasn't feeling that this year. We've recombined them again. Like I say, state of flux. And then, of course, we have best politician and worst politician, particularly pertaining to our dear country here as well. We have rising star, which I'm sure I accidentally forgot maybe last year or the year before, but that's been a mainstay. People who you feel are just beginning to appear on the radar and might make it one day, somewhere, somehow. If you remember our favourite example of all this, we've got non-entity here as well. Dear old Matt Hancock. One year he was non-entity. Then he was rising star. And then I'm sure after all of the shit hit the fan, he was probably worst politician or biggest loser or something like that. We've been around for a few years now. We've charted Icarus's flights too close to the sun and then back down again. We've seen it all. We also have biggest winner of 2023 and biggest loser of 2023. Generally speaking, this one tends to be a bit in the abstract. You can pick individual people, you can pick political parties, you can pick concepts, if you like. More than a few times, the biggest loser, people have decided it's like, the general public or whatever. Again, whatever you like, whatever you want to choose. Stream guest of the year 2023. Again, self-explanatory. Who has appeared on stream with me this year that you liked seeing the most? And finally, named after dear angels, the Annabelle Clark Side Chatter of the Year Award 2023, which is you lot here in the side chat. Who's your favorite amongst this lot as well? Now, for Stream Guest of the Year and Side Chatter of the Year, continuing on a tradition that we started, I think it was last year, We have a gold, silver, and bronze award for these. So we have we're allowing more people to get some recognition here. We don't just want to have one person winning these things. We have a little bit of a tiered system, so a few of you guys can bask in the warmth and the light of the Captain Swiss audience adoration. So there we are. That is the full slate. So how many do we have altogether then? 1, 2, 3, 4. Shit, I've lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There we are. Yes. 18 awards for you this year to sink your teeth into. That's a decent enough amount, I'd say. Right. Let me have a little look at some of the comments here before we wrap up. Have you heard the great news? Reform now has as many MPs as Reclaim, says Bill Tycoon. No, I missed that. Has someone defected to Reform? Has this happened in the past day or two? Has someone defected to the Reform Party? My goodness. Well, there we go. That's a cosmic injustice that's finally been righted, as far as Reclaim having more MPs than Reform. Should have suggested best movie or TV show as well as worst. I think that gets us a little bit too broadly outside of politics, to be honest. It's a fair suggestion, but I think I'm happy focusing in on the main thrust of what we do for the Milkies here. Frank says Swiss, who was the guest when you did the Tory confidence analysis, was he called Dan? Yes, Dan, also known as Apollo TD. John Cooper says your private videos make it hard to tell who was on this year, Swiss. Well, that's a bit that does make it tricky. You're gonna have to rely on your powers of recollection, aren't you? After I wiped the slate clean. Frank says no. Andrew Bridgen defected from Reclaim. Right, I see. So Reclaim now have 0 MPs. And Reform have allowed themselves Andrew Bridgen. Wow. What a win. What a coup for Reform. Well, there we are. I suppose he's got, microscopically better chances of getting re-elected at the election under Reform than Reclaim. Although, either way, I don't really see that happening one way or another. Oh, well, there we are. That's a fun little bit of news, isn't it? Just for finishing this off. All right. Reclaim no more MPs. Reform have 1. And of course, the Peterbone by-election coming in the new year as well. And we are, I mean, this is the crazy thing. We are like nearly a week away from the end of 2023 now. It's gonna be time fairly soon to evaluate Rishi Sunak's 5 pledge statement targets and whatnot, right? No, the Reclaim MP quit the party. Reform has none. So he didn't move to Reform. He's quit the. So is he now an independent? So Reform. Okay, right. Yeah, I see how I balls that up. Okay, so Andrew Bridgen didn't defect to Reform. He just quit Reclaim, and that's what you mean when you say now that Reclaim and Reform have the same number of MPs. Right, I see. Bad Swiss. Fake news Swiss. This is what happens when I report things on the fly, just as I read them in the side chat here. What was I saying? There's something I was saying. Yeah, Rishi Sunak. We're gonna have to evaluate how he's done on his 5 targets in a week or two's time, aren't we? I don't think it's looking very good for him, to be honest. I think off the top of my head, I think maybe he's arguably scraped 1 of them or 2 of them. The rest of them, to put it quite generously, are definitely works in progress. Anywho, plenty of time for all that. So, guys, get out there and go and nominate. I will close the nominations. After Boxing Day. So the 27th. Get your nominations in by the 26th, Boxing Day at the last, because 27th at some point during the day is when I will close them and put together the finalists. So you have yourself 4-5 days to do it. So there we are. Go get it done. There's no excuses. You've got plenty of time. Forget about spending time with family and loved ones over Christmas. You've got internet quiz to go fill out. Frank says, "See you soon, Swiss. February." I'd like to think we won't have a very long Milky delay this year. We'll see. All right then, folks. I'll catch you all later on. Ta-ta.